Welcome to the Art of Likeability, where you learn the secrets to becoming more likable in all areas of your life. Increasing your likability improves your relationships, and improved relationships increases your success in all areas of your life. Let's jump in with your host, Arel Moody.
What's going on, y'all? Arel Moody here, host of The Art of Likeability, where we teach you how to build your likability skills up. You build them skills up, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get better relationships. You get better relationships, you know what you're going to get? Success and happiness. And if you don't want more success and happiness, you are listening to the wrong podcast. I am excited. I want to give y'all a super secret likability ninja amazing trick today. Now, this is going to get you a raise. This is going to get you a promotion. This is going to get you a better job, more money. Does that sound good? I'm going to tell you what it is. 99% of people will never, ever do this likability secret. I want you to do it. I want you to be part of that small percentage of people who do things that are incredible and make an amazing life. And I want to share them with you. Remember, if I share this with you and you go, yo, that's a real good idea, but you don't do it, you're missing the point. Give it a try, okay? So you want a raise. You want a better job. Are you ready? All right, that was very dramatic. I was trying to build it up. I don't know. Let's just jump into it. Here's what you do. What most people do, and you'll find this, watch this amongst employees or your coworkers. A lot of people will say things like, wow, they don't pay me enough to do this. Or, man, I wish I could get a raise. Or if they paid me more, I'd work harder. Most people do just enough not to get fired. It's frankly speaking. You do just enough that people are not happy. The boss isn't happy. Your manager's not happy. Your supervisor isn't happy. But they're not really upset either. So you're not like a superstar, rock star, A person, but you're not an F. You're like more like a C plus, B minus. That's what most people do. And when you come from that space, what people say is, you know what? I would work harder if they paid me more. That's what most people think. And unfortunately, that is 0% how life really works. In actuality, what really happens is that when you start working harder, when you start doing more, you actually eventually will get paid more. Now, a lot of people think, well, I'm not going to let someone dupe me over, and I'm not going to, do free work that I should be paid for. I'm not an indentured servant. And that's the mentality they have. And they stay at the bottom of the barrel. The people who are most successful understand this idea about likability. If you put in the work first, people will like you because they see you have a good work ethic. If they see you have a good work ethic, it is much easier to justify and convince others that you deserve a raise. Now, how do you do this? What I recommend you do is ask to take on more responsibility, a new project, a new initiative with no additional compensation. Now, you might be saying to me, whoa, Arel, I don't think I heard you right. Maybe I was daydreaming about a Beyonce song when you were speaking and I didn't hear what you said. It sounded like you said volunteer to take on more work, more projects, more responsibilities, but not get paid for it. Yes, that's exactly what I said. The reason why is I want you to think of a couple of things. Number one, if you ask your boss for more responsibility, it's showing that you care. Obviously your plate is full, so you don't want to go and position it as, hey, boss, I got nothing to do. I was hoping you could give me more work. That's not the right positioning. What you should say is, hey, I really, really, really love the work that I'm doing here. Whether it's true or not, make a statement that's true enough for you to say, right? And I'm really engaged with what's happening with the company, and I really want to do more to see the company grow. I think this is a great place, and I love the work I'm doing. I don't want to stop the work I'm doing. I still want to do that, but I want to take on a new project. Now, if you could actually think of a project, if you could recommend a project, that's the best case scenario. And then also offer them an option for them to think of something else. Say, hey, I'd really love to take on creating a Twitter page for our business and be the social media manager. I would do it, at no cost. It's just something I know would help build the brand of our business. Or I want to build an Instagram page. A lot of businesses don't have Instagram. A lot of businesses have Facebook and Twitter, but they do not have Instagram. So if your company doesn't have an Instagram page, you may want to talk about the benefits of it, because more and more people are on that social network. A lot of, especially young demographics, if you're studying this, that they're moving away from Facebook and they're going more into Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat. Those are some of the more faster growing social media sites among young people. Pinterest is another big one too. So maybe you don't have a Pinterest page, maybe you don't have an Instagram page. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. You say, hey, I would love to take on the social media management role for our company. And I think it would be really helpful. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to do it. Don't ask for money. If they say, people like, no, this is something I just generally want to do, I think it'll be really helpful. Come up with it. Do this for a while. Come up with some systems on how you find your content, how you post it. If you use like Buffer or Hootsuite or whatever it is, explain all of that stuff. Okay. The reason why that's important is because when you start taking that type of initiative and you start taking that responsibility on, and then if some amazing result happens because of your work, you have now become invaluable. You have now become so likable and so amazing because they're like, yo, this person took this on and man, this was amazing. So now, if it's a project that has a hard stop and a hard end, you can show and have proof and demonstrate why you're so valuable to the organization. Now, you may not get anything the first time you do this. Do it again. And you may say, well, I'm busy. I can't be doing this stuff if it's not going to immediately work. But that's the thing that I find so fascinating. You would take, if your boss said either you do this or you're fired, you would do it. I've noticed that about people. Have you ever had friends that their boss requires them to do more work? Maybe it's working on weekends or maybe it's working nights. And normally they've never done that before, but their job depends on it. So they take on that extra responsibility. If you ask them before that, if they had the extra time to do it, they would say no. But when they get mandated to, they find time. Or maybe you work in an office and someone in the office quits or someone gets fired or they transfer to a new department. And now all of a sudden they have a vacancy and the work of two people now has to get done by one person. That one person still finds a way to get it done. They still find the energy. They still find the time to do it. So why not take that self-starter approach? Say, hey, listen, I'll do this for 90 days. Like, hey, I'm going to go back to the social media thing, right? Hey, let me take on the social media thing for 90 days. I'll totally, brand it and make sure it's good. And if we don't see any traction, if we don't get any new email signups, or if we don't get any new business or anything from it, no harm, no foul. We started it. I'll come up with the systems for it to work and we can keep it going from there. Now, after that 90-day period, you may want to back out. And they may say, no, we don't need, no, this is going great. Hey, how about I pay you an extra whatever so that you can keep maintaining that social media manager role, right? So now, if you prove your worth, it's a lot easier to get a promotion. It's a lot easier to get a pay raise because from a manager's perspective, a business owner's perspective, it's pretty simple. Like, this is what people care about. And I want you to catch this. There's 3 things people care about who run a business. In a leadership role, management role, entrepreneurship role. There's only 3 things. So if you're not talking to them in these 3 categories, you're wasting your breath. Number 1, can you increase my revenue and profits, right? Number 2, can you decrease my costs? Number 3, can you make sure that we keep good people? That is 3 of the most important things. So it's making more money, cutting expenses, keeping good people. That's what business owners care about. If you can show me how to get and keep good people, if you can show me how to cut expenses, if you show me how to make more money, if you can make me $100 and you're asking me to pay you $5 to do it, I'm doing it every day. If you can show me how to save $1,000 and you're going to charge me $200 to do it, I would do it every day. If you can show me to have someone who can make my life stress-free and work amazing, I would do it every day. So when you think of these extra projects you can take on, when you think of this extra work that you can do, think of how you can show your boss, manager, director, supervisor, whatever, how you can show how it will either lead to increased revenue. Maybe it's building new customer base. Maybe it's building new fan bases. Maybe you could do some promotions via whatever it is. How do you increase revenue? How do you decrease costs for your organization? And how do you keep great people working there? If you can do that on these extra projects, man, you'll start getting amazing opportunities. And then, maybe you'll get invited places and then you'll get introduced to people. You'll get on people's radar. This is a long-term strategy. But I can tell you is doing C-level work and waiting for them to recognize the genius potential you have and then giving you more money, It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't. I wish you, I don't care about people. I wish you would get this because you are taking the time to subscribe to my podcast and listen to it. So I care about you. You're someone who's investing in yourself. Give this strategy a try. People will be like, people like people who are action oriented, who take initiative, who want to help succeed for the greater good, the team player approach. So I'd like for you to take that challenge on. I know it may seem like, yeah, that's a good idea for other people, but not for me, because right now things are a little loco in me, living la vida loca. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, listen, you feel like it's crazy. I get that, but you can do this. And because it's your future, I mean, what would an extra $1,000 a month mean to you? I mean, think about it. I mean, that's like, you can get like a really nice Mercedes Benz for that. You can get a really nice luxury car and you can save a bunch of money. And I mean, what if you can get something like that and it took a risk of, 90 days of investment in your time? That's pretty good returns. The benefits goes to the people who's willing to take risk. The greater the risk, the greater the benefit. If you're willing to sacrifice your time and energy, knowing maybe nothing will happen from it, but you'll build skill sets and experiences. However, great things could happen from it. New jobs, new potential, new money. And it could be something you enjoy. Try taking on a responsibility with something you enjoy. Now you can offer, now I want to go back to something I was talking about. You can offer, hey, I would do this, for free. Always open it up. Maybe they have something on their table. So that they're thinking they want you to do. So something on the table, you may want to say something like, hey, and I'm going to go back to the Instagram thing and the Pinterest. Hey, I want to start an Instagram and Pinterest page for our business. I think it'll help us have our voice and our face and new opportunities and new clients and all that stuff. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I thought it would be cool if I could take that project on. I'm not looking to be paid for it. I think it'll just be a great way to help the organization. I can come up with systems and manuals on, how it can be done. I think it'd be really helpful. I'd like to do that. So that's a project I'd like to take on. Unless there's a project that you really have been wanting to do and you need some help with and you don't have the time, maybe I could take it on. So you give an example of something you can do, but then you open the door for something else. Because maybe in their mind, they've been having this project like, hey, I really want to do a quarterly newsletter, or I really want to do something. And that's really been pressing to them. And if they can have you take that on, then their problem is solved. And then they owe you and they like you because you came to them and you wanted to see them succeed. And most people will not turn down free labor. I've just found that in my days, in my life, people don't turn down free labor. So if you offer it, but then if that free labor is valuable, when you remove that free labor, now you want to pay for it. So go on and give this a shot. If you want to make more money, if you want to have a better career, start doing what most people won't so that you can have what most people don't. The strategy I share with you today works. It's powerful. And at the worst, what it'll do, at the least it'll do, you will have so many more people who like you because you show initiative. So that if you need a letter of recommendation or if you need something like that, people can say, there was this one time you did this amazing extra thing, and it just shows what type of person you are. All right, so give it a shot. And I really think if you do that, it will build your likability. And your likability will build your relationships and will build your success and your happiness. And guess what? If you ain't trying to get success and happiness, you're listening to the wrong podcast. That's what we all about, baby. That's what we doing. That's what we setting up. This is like a super secret ninja trick. We got tool belts that Batman would be like, yo, I want to get some of these skills. I'm not as likable when I'm Bruce Wayne, when I'm Batman. You got it. All right. So make sure you use them because the tools are only as good as you use them. And please let me know what you think. I've been having so much fun. Honestly, man, I've been having so much fun getting emails from people going to my website, artoflikability.com, and leaving me questions. I respond to all of them. I love the Facebook messages. I love the tweets. So hit me up. I'm the only Arel Moody. It's so easy to find me. Literally, there's no other Arel Moody in the world. So if you just type in AREL MOODIE in the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, whatever, I'm there. LinkedIn, Snapchat, hit me up. All right. Let me know if this works. Let me know if you have any questions. If you need some clarification, I'm happy to do so. And if you thought this was helpful, let me get the podcast a 5-star rating. I got goals. I'm trying to get to that #1 spot again. We hit the #1 spot. We fell from the #1 spot. I'm trying to get back to that #1 spot. I would like you if you help me out. So if you could, one of the ways that we get to the #1 spot is have actively engaged listeners. The way that those can be the way that we know if you're actively engaged is by rates and comments and subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so. If you haven't left a comment, please go on iTunes, leave a comment. If you haven't left a 5-star rating, give me 5 stars. Give me them 5 staros. Sorry to my Spanish friend. Staros is not. I'm confident that's not a word. All right, y'all. Give me you a big old high five. You are awesome.
Thanks for listening to The Art of Likeability. Please remember to subscribe to the podcast for more awesome info on how you can improve your likability and improve your life. Until next time, remember, you are